Hey, everybody. Good morning. Roman Polnar coming to you live here, Pillar 6 College Planning. Happy Wednesday. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're staying healthy. And welcome to our Financial Aid Wednesdays, which is a conversation that we have every single week when I take apart some financial aid topic that's part of our broader college planning system to help you find the money to pay for your kids' college, have them graduate college without debt, getting a head start in life, and all while you not having to dig too deep into your finances. So, the topic for today's episode is 6 ways to cut your tuition bill in half. So, in this episode, I'm going to share with you those 6 ways. And I'm also going to talk about the number one reason that most families are going to miss these huge savings. They're right there in front of them. And I'm also going to share with you what you have to do in order to pay less than the sticker price for college. So if that's something that you want to learn, make sure to stick around to the end because I'm going to share with you the 6 ways that every single family can use to pay less for college. And it's going to help. I hope it helps. And by the way, for all of you watching live, feel free to ask questions or drop your comments below. If you're watching a replay, please do the same and hit the thumbs up button. Let me know that you're enjoying this. And if anything comes up, just let me know. I'm going to slow down if you have questions. But the first thing we're going to mention is that, look, paying for college is painful for just about everybody. So most of you watching this, I'm guessing, don't have enough money saved for college. And the reality is that it's not entirely your fault. Sure, I mean, some of you could have saved more money. That's true. But the biggest reason you probably don't have enough money to pay for college has nothing to do with how much you didn't save. It's because college prices have just gone up too fast. And I know this because the data tells us so. I mean, the reality is that college prices have gone up faster than any of us could have saved. And 84% of all Americans do not have enough money to pay for college. Now, think about that. If you're in a group of 10 of your closest friends that have kids similar age to yours, let's say you're at a party when parties are in person again, hopefully sooner than later, but let's just pretend the last time that you were with your friends and you have 10 of you in the room. I can almost guarantee that 8 of them don't have enough money saved to pay for college. And if you think about the entire US, literally almost everybody that is going to go to college or all the kids that are going to go to college don't have enough money saved for college. That's why 84% of Americans borrow to pay for school. Kids borrow student loans, parents take parent loans, and some even use credit cards. I mean, the fact is, the student loan debt has just exceeded every single debt category except mortgages. The Department of Education and the student loan in general is $1.75 trillion. That's higher than car loans, credit cards, and all other loans. The only higher debt category are mortgages. And if you think about it, the government, the Department of Education, is now, well, if it was a bank, it would be the third largest bank in the US. I mean, JP Morgan is like the biggest company, JP Morgan Chase to be precise. I think they have like 2.6 or 2.7 trillion dollars. Bank of America is the second biggest bank in the US. It's like $2 trillion. Wells Fargo is at 1.75 trillion. Well, guess what? So is the Department of Education. So it's a lot of money that we are all borrowing. And it's not just the kids. 15% of all American adults have student debt. 93% are struggling to pay off their own debt from when they were in college, and 81% are borrowing for their kids and their grandkids. Did you know that student debt among the 50 to 60-year-olds, which is the prime age category of parents sending their kids to schools, is up over 25%? And the average 50 to 60-year-old owes $44,000 in student loans. And that's not it. Student debt among 62-year-old and up has increased 25% in the last 4 years alone, and they owe an average of $40,000. In total, 62-year-old and above owe over $1 billion to the government in student debt. And most of those 62-year-olds can't retire. You know why? Because they can't pay off that debt until or they can't retire until they pay off the debt. And if they don't pay off the debt, the federal government's just going to withhold their Social Security benefits. It's terrible. We're literally drowning in debt, and we don't have to. You know why? Well, for one, the government sets aside over $32 billion every single year in financial aid. That's free money, not loans. That's $32 billion of just free money. And over $2 billion goes unclaimed every single year. That's literally free money sitting there in the government coffers left untouched year after year. You know why that happens? Because 44% of Americans don't apply for financial aid because they don't think they'll qualify. Some people think that they make too little money and they're just automatically going to get financial aid by colleges. Not true. The other folks think they make too much money, so why bother applying? They're not going to get any. Not true. Did you also know that of the 4,000 colleges that we have in the US, hundreds of those colleges offer tuition discounts? The average tuition discount last year was 53.9%. All right, let's just round that up. The average tuition discount for those colleges was 54%, which means if you just apply to those colleges and if it was, you did it in the right way, you could save 54% off the total bill. That's according to the National Association of College and University Business Officers. So, if there is literally billions of dollars of free money in the financial aid system, if the financial aid forms take about 30 minutes to complete, according to the government, and then colleges are literally cutting their tuition in half, why are we borrowing like mad? Why are we going deep into debt? Why are young people having to struggle when they graduate college? They can't buy homes. They can't start families. They can't get a head start and build financial security. And why are we as parents or as grandparents struggling too? Why are we struggling to retire, to pay off debt? Why can't we live comfortably? Why? It's all because of this number one thing. It's the number one reason that families are not being able to find those savings, and that's why they're overpaying for college. And that number one thing happens just before your kids go to college. So take note of this and just highlight this in your mind. The number one reason families overpay for college is because you're putting your kids in the driver's seat when they're picking colleges. It's that simple, and it's a fact. I see it year over year. Tens of families that even call us in the final few months before they have to write the bill, but hundreds of families, thousands of families around the US are literally running into the same problem. Think about this. What are kids thinking about in their junior year, maybe their senior year, as they're picking colleges? What are they thinking about? Well, I can tell you. The biggest things that they think about is, where are my friends going? Where's my boyfriend or girlfriend going? But mostly it's, where are my friends going? Because that's where I want to go. Clearly, my friends know something and I want to go there too. They're also thinking about where the colleges are. Is it going to be in a big city and they're attracted to that? Or maybe they want a smaller school experience. Is it going to be in the mountains or is it going to be by the ocean? Is the weather going to be good? Is it hot? Is it cold? Is the sports team going to be good? Maybe they're thinking about the major that they want to pursue. A lot of kids are just looking at those top 50 or top 100 college lists. That's what they're thinking about. That's how they select colleges. I mean, not bad things. They're good. That's what teenagers are supposed to think about. But let me ask you this. How many of them are thinking about money? How many of them are asking, well, which of these colleges are going to give me the most amount of money? Which colleges can discount my tuition? Which colleges will give me scholarships? Or which colleges will give me financial aid? And more importantly, which of these colleges can we as a family pay for without taking on debt? Well, I can tell you from having had hundreds of conversations with mostly parents and their kids, not many kids are asking these questions. And they should, because if they do, then you both have a chance to pick really, really good fit colleges. On one hand, you're going to have colleges, they're going to be a perfect fit for your student because they're going to be able to get that great experience, the great education that will give them all of those things that you want for them and they want for themselves. out of that college experience, something that's going to last them a lifetime and hopefully set them up for a great life ahead. But it's also going to be a great fit for you as a family because at the end of the day, in some way, you're going to pay for it. And like I said from the beginning, paying for college is painful for everybody, but it doesn't have to be. So don't put your kids solely in the driver's seat when picking colleges. Get in the car with them. Have the conversation about what's important, what to look for. I can assure you, of the 4,000 colleges that we have in the US, they're going to be able to find 15 or 20 that will be a perfect fit for them and for you. You just have to talk about these things together. It's not their fault. They don't yet understand a lot of things about money. And don't dig yourself in the sand by just ignoring the problem because it's there. And if you've got a high school senior right now or a junior, guess what? It's happening right now as we speak. So don't let that train get out of the station. Jump on, help them. So now let's shift gears. Let me talk to you about the 6 different ways that you can cut your tuition bill or their tuition bill. And you don't have to pay the sticker price. In fact, I believe you should never pay the sticker price for college. There's just no need unless you really, really want to. And if you do, by all means, go for it. But chances are you're not watching this because you want to pay more. So here they are. Number 1 way is get financial aid. And in order to get financial aid, you have to apply for financial aid. And you have to apply in the right way at the right time. Number 2, huge amount of money is in merit scholarships. This is money directly from colleges for your kids' academic, athletic, or just personal accomplishments, or maybe just where they're coming from and their demographic, the area of study that they want to pursue. There's a lot of money from colleges, and the only thing you have to know is which colleges have merit scholarships. Number 3, private scholarships. This is money completely outside of our financial aid system. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of private foundations, family foundations, corporations, organizations, nonprofits that set money aside for kids that will fit a specific profile that this scholarship is designed for. The money is there. You just have to get it. Number 4, tuition discounts. Like I said earlier, according to that study, a great deal of colleges, hundreds of colleges, last year and in all the prior years have been discounting their tuition by over 50%. That's just because they really are looking for great fit students. It doesn't mean your student has to be a star athlete or a valedictorian. They're looking for good fits students that are going to stay there for all 4 years. And they're not just giving this money to the incoming freshmen just to lure you in. They're giving the same tuition discounts to the sophomores and the juniors and the seniors. And the reason they do this is because they want these kids to graduate from their colleges. They don't want them to get in and then realize, we can't pay for this, and then transfer. Because colleges get money based upon how many kids they graduate. So the higher the graduation rate, the more money they get. So they're interested in you just as much as you're interested in them. And you got to realize that. Number 5, there are tax credits available. I talk about this in some other videos. But the government will literally give you a $10,000 tax scholarship if you qualify. So you just have to know if you qualify. And if you do, it's a very, very simple thing to apply. Number 6, the last but not least, tax savings. For all of those higher income families, business owners, people who may not qualify for the traditional financial aid, you've got a lot of different levers that you can pull and find tax savings when paying for your kids' college. And if you don't have to send that money to the IRS, well, send it to the college instead. It literally cuts your bill by a significant amount. So those are the 6 different ways that you can literally cut your tuition bill in half. How do you do it? How do you know which one is right for you? Well, it all depends on your financial aid profile. If you're a lower income family, you look at some of the traditional financial aid, maybe merit. If you're a middle income family, you have to look for more places because there's no single place where you're going to get enough money. And if you're a high income family, you look at those private scholarships, the tax savings, etc., and tuition discounts. But every single family, regardless of your financial profile, regardless of how much money you think you make that may qualify or disqualify you, you can all find money to pay for college. There's literally no reason that you should be going eyeballs deep in debt or forcing your kids to take on student loans because you don't have to. There's a ton of money in these various financial aid systems. You just have to go get them. I mean, sure, fair enough. You have to know which one is going to work for you and your family. That's fair. And once you know which places that you can get money, go get it. Just have to do some few right things and you're done. Now, if you're not sure what to do or where to look, we can help you. Um, you know what? Let me put this link. Go to our website, pillar6college.com/strategy call, and you can book your one-on-one call with me where I will literally ask you a few questions and tell you exactly which financial aid system is going to be right for you and the things that you have to do to get it. So avoid debt. Don't don't resign yourself to the thought that that's the only option you have because it's not true. Look, colleges have made a tremendously well, let me back up. I would say colleges and the government have done a tremendously good job at making us think that you have to pay for college with student loans. You don't. You don't. Of course, colleges want you to pay the full sticker price. Of course, the government wants you to borrow money from them. Why wouldn't they? It's income. You're literally paying for their bills, but you don't have to. So, like I said, 6 different ways. You just have to know which one's going to work for you and then just do a few right things to go get the money. It's there. So, schedule your strategy call and we can help you. All right, looks like Sean here. Hey Sean, how you doing? Nice to see you. All right, you've got a question. I'm going to put this up on the screen. All right, so I completed my son's FAFSA and we received a low 4-digit EFC. That's great. That means your EFC is somewhere between $1,000 and $9,999. That's pretty good. All right, I think I need to do it again, and I purchased your Fast Track to Financial Aid program to help. Good. Hope it helped. Or based upon that EFC, is that about range? Oh, is that where it needs to be in? And he did get an estimated $1,300 for Pell Grant. Well, that's awesome. So I tell you what, why don't you reach out to me offline? Just direct message me or email me. It's Roman at pillar6college.com. And I think I need to answer this question directly to you. But you bring up a really, really good point. For all of those high school senior parents out there, if you've already completed the FAFSA, which I hope you did in the fall, and your students are about to start getting their acceptance letters, they're going to be followed in a matter of a week or two by the financial aid offers from each one of the colleges where your student got accepted. Now, that's usually the first time that you will find out how much those colleges are going to cost you. And in many cases, you may be in for a shock because they might want you to pay more than what you expected to pay or more than you can pay. And so that's when I get a lot of panicked calls. But to Sean's point here, he did something that was tremendously important. And Sean here actually checked what his FAFSA processed. In other words, he checked what the EFC, the expected family contribution from his FAFSA filing was in advance because he didn't wait until colleges gave him an offer. He wasn't surprised because he's prepared, because he took our course and because he knows the right things to do. So good for you, Sean. Again, reach out to me privately and I'll answer the question because it's a little bit more nuanced. I'm not going to do it in a public forum, but you do bring up a fantastic point. So let me expand upon that. If you submitted the FAFSA, do not wait for colleges to give you their financial aid offer. Go and look at what your expected family contribution is on the FAFSA. And you do it by the following way. So, Sean, I'm going to take your comment off here. Thank you for asking the question. I'll talk to you in a bit. I know that you said you would, so I'll talk to you in a little bit. But How do you check what your expected family contribution is? It's easy. Log back into the FAFSA, same website that you used before. Log in, use the same login and the FSA ID that you created, and then download something called the Student Aid Report, commonly abbreviated as SAR, Student Aid Report. At the very top of that Student Aid Report is going to be your EFC, and it's going to be a string of numbers. There's no dollar sign. There's nothing other than just a string of four numbers, and a lot of people miss it, not knowing what that is. Well, that is the dollar amount that the government thinks you can pay for college. That's the dollar amount that was sent to every single college where your student applied. So those colleges automatically know how much to expect from you before putting together your financial aid packet. So if your expected family contribution is higher than it should be, or it's higher than what you can pay, automatically, that means colleges are not going to give you as much financial aid as you need. So, why is it important to check your FAFSA or check your EFC before getting the financial aid offers? Well, it's because if you made a mistake or if you made any input error on your FAFSA, then it calculated a higher EFC than it should have. And colleges are not going to give you enough financial aid unless you correct the mistake, unless you correct the error. And it's really easy to do because below that EFC number on the student aid report will be a list of all the questions and all of your answers. So look through them. And if you inadvertently overreported something, this happens a lot. People will put higher values for some things that they shouldn't have. Or sometimes they include things they shouldn't have included, like retirement plan values or value of their home. Or maybe they overestimated the value of their investment accounts. So you can change that. Just click edit, put in a lower number, and resubmit the FAFSA. And then it will recalculate a lower EFC so colleges can actually give you more money. So, Sean, thank you for bringing up that point. Really, really key. And for those of you who have seniors right now, maybe you don't have, time to redo the FAFSA. Start reaching out to colleges right now. Tell the financial aid office that you found an error on your FAFSA and ask them to consider it. Ask them to revise their financial aid offer based upon that new information. There are four different ways for you to file a financial aid appeal. I talk about that in other videos. If you want that, just drop the comment below, say financial aid appeals, and I'll send you the link to that free video. But you can file a financial aid appeal because there was a change in your circumstances. Things have changed since the last time you filled out the FAFSA. Maybe you've had you discovered a financial error or a mistake on the forms. We just talked about that. So fix the error, and if you don't have time to fix it, tell them about it. Let them adjust it on their end. Number three, you may have a financial change, right? What if someone lost their job? Remember, the income that you reported on the FAFSA was from 2 years ago. But what if your income this year or last year was less? What if you lost your job? What if you had to take a lower paying job? I mean, these things happen in a pandemic. So let colleges know. That's the third reason, is their financial change. And then the fourth reason is that if you have multiple colleges that have accepted your kids, and one of them gave you a really, really great financial aid offer and the others did not, well, use that best offer as a way to quote unquote negotiate for more money, because now you have a competing offer from a college that's giving you more money. So use that as a way to elevate all of the other financial aid offers that you're getting. And remember this, the first financial aid offer that you're going to get is usually not their best offer, and it's not final. You can appeal at least once, in some cases multiple times. And don't worry, it's not going to hurt your kids' chances of going to that college, because once your student is in, they're in. So don't fear ruining their chances or getting their acceptance yanked by appealing. Appeal if you can and if there's a reason for it. So, Rossio, Annie, I see that you want the financial aid appeal email. Video, excuse me. We'll send that to you. In fact, if we can maybe what I'll do is I'll post a link to that video in the comments below after this ends. And if you have questions, just reach out to me. Direct message me through whatever social media channel you're watching this on, or email me. It's Roman at pillar6college.com, or better yet, go to our homepage /strategy call, book your call, and I'll personally tell you which areas that you can get the most amount of financial aid, as well as what things you have to do to get that money. And if you've got a high school senior, we can help you negotiate with colleges and write those appeal letters in the best way so that you can get more free money and get the loans out of your head. I know so many families come to us saying, how do we get loans? Where do we get loans? What are the best loans to get? Good questions, but wrong questions. If you can get free money, go get free money. It's money you don't have to borrow and later pay back. It's free money. All right? If you have to borrow, though, borrow smart. Actually, you know what? That's another good point I want to mention, and then I'm going to let you go. If you do have to borrow, borrow smart, because not all student loans were created equal. Some are great, some are pretty good, others are just toxic, and you want to avoid them like the plague. So there's a checklist on our homepage. If you go to pillar6college.com, I think one of the first things you're going to see is a free download to a student loan checklist. And it's going to tell you which loans are good, which loans are okay, and which loans are not good at all. So forget about those. All right. If there are other questions, drop them in the comments below. Give me the thumbs up if you think this is helpful, and share with your friends. Hopefully, this is going to help them pay for college as well. And I should say, help them avoid paying the sticker price for college and pay less. Pay what you can afford. Give your kids a great education. Give them a head start without have to work backwards. So, folks, thanks for watching. Hope this is helpful. I'm going to be on here again next Wednesday. If you've got a topic that you want me to cover, drop it in the comments. Tell me if you've got specific questions or something that you're struggling with, because chances are, if you have a question, someone else has a question as well. And I'm taking notes, and I'm going to cover these on the next Financial Aid Wednesday. So until then, wishing you all very well, the best, stay healthy, find that money, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching.